Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Soul. This is another bit of Shadowlands coverage. I'm actually kind of winded. I'm going to kind of be gasping for breath in between while I'm trying to make this video, but I'm going to give you the basics on what PvP gearing is going to be like when it comes to buying stuff from a vendor. So there are two vendors. Can I mark them here? Okay, cool. So there are two vendors right over here, and this third person here who lets me upgrade stuff. This first person here lets me buy gear with honor. This other vendor here lets me buy stuff with conquest, and this third one over here lets me upgrade any of this gear to whatever. Now, I don't quite know how the conquest stuff works because I'm not able to buy it with these. I actually don't think, maybe I won't be able to upgrade these at all because I don't see, because it just says unranked and I'm not entirely sure what that means. However, for the honor stuff, as you go through some of this gear, you can see that there are a couple of legendary recipes that I can buy. Just go off to the rune carver, use them, and ta-da, it's unlocked for your account. But otherwise, you see like these pieces of gear have ranks to them, and we're gonna buy a bunch of them. So let me switch this to protection because that's the best specialization in the game. And I will buy like just a couple of things, you know. So I'll buy this this Wonderhander guy. I'll buy a shield, and that's it for now. So I'll put on this weapon and shield. You get to look at the gore that is my bags, and we will go to this upgrade person. So this should look kind of familiar. This looks familiar from Warlords of Draenor. It looks familiar from Nazjatar and upgrading benthic gear, and the same principles work here. You drag the piece of gear here, and as you can see, we're starting with an item level of 158, which is a respectable item level. And keep in mind that these upgrades are done entirely with honor. It's not with conquest or anything like that. So this is something that I would consider to be a path for people who are casual PvPers. Because you can see, we can upgrade this once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times for an increasing amount of honor requirement in order to go from one upgrade to the next. So it gets a little bit higher. And admittedly, I don't want to like prejudge, because let me go back to this piece of armor here, how it costs like 750 the first time, and then 900, and then 1050, and it goes higher and higher and higher. So as I said, this is a path for you to get up to item level 190 gear, which is nice. Let me pull up some context. Item level 190 gear is equivalent to almost roughly a little bit better than Raid Finder gear. So it's not, oh my gosh, this is it. This is the way I'm going to be super overpowered. I'm just going to be using this vendor. It's going to take you to that point where you can become reasonably geared enough so that you can start maybe jumping into arenas or rated battlegrounds, or otherwise doing the conquest things that you can do out in the world, or from weekly and you know, weekly activities, so you can get more stuff. My chat over here, because obviously I'm streaming at the same time that I'm doing this, my chat is asking me, okay, so what about the honor that we already have? Because as you can see, I have like millions of honor right now. Thank you, beta test server thing. And my honor level, by the way, is like 1,000, which is like totally ridiculous and my total dream. Honor right now, at least in Battle for Azeroth, it's just like a measure of your experience. So come Shadowlands, honor will also be a currency, which is kind of goofy, I know, but honor is going to be a currency in this case, and I would at least make the presumption that once that you start at 0, everyone's going to start at 0, and then you start accruing this honor, and then you can start building your way up to complete this set. So those are the basics on how that works. And let me go back to the conquest vendor person here. You can see that stuff here starts at 190, and if I'm recalling this correctly, like this vendor will have better items as your rating goes up. So right now it says it's unranked. As my rating goes up, it's going to get higher and higher and higher, and then you can see here that there are some cute little conduits here that you could also buy depending on your class and spec and whatever you want to do. So how much does honor mean in Shadowlands? So I obviously haven't gone into Battlegrounds and done some stuff, but we can at least look here at some of the daily stuff that you get. So Doing the random BG, the first time you win each day, you get 300 honor here. You get 450 honor for doing a battleground, and you get 160 for each one that you do here. I'm not exactly sure, like, you know, how much honor do you get per win. That, you know, those values might not have changed from how things are in live right now. And then, of course, what does the armor look like? Well, let's start with the honor stuff. And I'll just like kind of like random click through things and just kind of go through stuff. I don't think that these are of like different colors, you know, so I could just kind of go willy-nilly. And I happen to be a female character right now. That's a two-hander, I think. I think that's a two-hander. But this will give you an idea for at least the plate version of what we get. As for the conquest stuff, and we'll take a look at the weapons too. As for the conquest stuff, you get Nathria stuff, looks like. A coloration of the Castle Nathria raid gear. And then, let's see, what's that? That's a pole arm, halberd, battle hammer, sexy. A great maul, looks the same. Ooh, that spellblade looks nifty. Ooh, oh, I dig that. Shucks. Mage blade's the same, and then there's an axe. And a, ooh, okay, the other sword looks good too. The caster sword and the normal melee sword look good. And yeah, this is pretty. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to start obtaining honor, like, right away. You know, day one Shadowlands. You kill someone, you get honor points. So I wouldn't be surprised if you can start building this stuff up now, considering that you can only that you can just get to an item level of 190 on each of these pieces. But then you probably won't be able to obtain conquest yet, not until the season starts, which is only 2 weeks into the expansion, so it's not that bad. And then once you start obtaining conquest, you can start getting this gear. And you know, I'm not quite sure like how you would unrank this, you know, rank this stuff up. Like, do you need to spend the conquest to buy them again at a higher rank, or can you just go into here and put a weapon here, and if you have the proper rating, then you can upgrade it? Not too sure. I don't imagine that most folks are going to be like, okay, I gotta get every piece of honor gear on every slot and then upgrade all of it. And by the way, trinkets cannot be upgraded. Rings and everything else can. There are weapons, obviously. But you're not going to upgrade everything, because you're going to have certain things like a legendary. You're going to have a legendary that's going to take up one slot. And at some point, you're going to obtain enough conquest, even at an unranked level, to be able to buy some of these pieces here. And some of these pieces, like, they don't have, like, you know, very ridiculous requirements, because you already get a piece of 190 gear, as opposed to putting in all the efforts to buy a weapon for 3675 and then upgrading it by 700 all the way up to, it's going to cost like 7,000 or 8,000 points, honor points, just to upgrade like a weapon to an item level 190. So the grind is definitely there, but of course so is there a path. It starts out low, and it does feel slow, I admit, and that's where I can definitely see some of the salt between players that are like, oh man, I'm gonna have to gear up in PvE because that'll get me to a higher item level way faster than going down this path here. But at least it's there. So I would love to hear your thoughts on this system in a comment below. If you guys have any questions, of course, please feel free to ask them, and I'll answer them to the bestest of my ability. I don't have great abilities, but otherwise, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you guys for the next video. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy, breezy, breezy.